Okay, so I'm just gonna go through a quick run through of my Onimusha collection. This goes across mainly for the PlayStation 2. That's the main console where it was born and where it thrived on, where most of the fans remember it. And did a brief stint on the Game Boy Advance. I don't know if we're gonna see anything for the current gen, but hopefully it stays current. So let's just start off. There we have the original Onimusha. I think this came out in 2002, if I'm not mistaken. Either 2002 or 2001. I think it's most likely 2001, looking closer at the package. There we go into the sequel. This is the limited edition blue cover, sequel of Onimusha 2. It's my personal favorite in the series. It's one of my first PlayStation 2 games and one that really got me to go headstrong into seeing the potential of the console. And then from there we go to Onimusha 3. Not my personal favorite by any means due to the storyline, but I know it's a fan favorite because Samanosuke returns, and it's also great that they have the great voice acting of Jean Reno in the original Japanese release. I'm sad to hear that he was dubbed when he came over into the Western markets. Then we have Onimusha Baraiden, also known as Onimusha Blade Warriors in the West. Fun game, nice little spin-off. Seems to be heavily inspired by Smash Brothers. I'd have wished for something more traditional, one-on-one like Soul Calibur gameplay, but that's just me. It's still a fun game. And Onimusha Tactics. This is probably my third favorite game in the series or the franchise. Brings back, includes a lot of original characters for its own title, and it also has some of the great side characters from Onimusha 2. So, whether you want to check it out on your DS or just have an emulator, whatever, just try it out. And unfortunately, I have Dawn of Dreams. It's actually my least favorite for various reasons that I don't want to discuss, but I just felt that it was ultimately a letdown. That's the best way I could summarize it. And just going over to my right, we have the original Onimusha original soundtrack. I don't know if this was released in the West or not, but it's a great title. And playing right now, you could probably hear it in the background. This is the orchestra album based on Onimusha 2. And both of them are very different. It's not just arranged tracks of the original. It's actually completely original tracks and very much expanded. So those of you who are fans of video game soundtracks definitely want to try it out. And I'm just going to go quickly to the Mcfarland Toy Line based on Onimusha 2. We have Gogandantes, the greatest demon sword fighter that ever lived, right there. Nobunaga. And I think by now most of the collectors already know and acknowledge that the detail on these is very much spot on, and it's just superb. I'm glad to see that Onimusha 2 is represented so well. Not only because it's my favorite in the series, but just for a game that didn't get quite the audience that it deserved, that it did get some recognition, permanently preserved in plastic. Magoi Kisaiga, he's the gunfighter of the game, right there. Kotaro Fuma, he's looking good. And then, of course, the main character, Yagyu Jubei. Unfortunately, we didn't have a version of him where he transforms into a Oni, but there it is. And this was a very beautiful poster. It seems to be for the promotion of Onimusha 2. Bought this a while ago at nationalconsolesupport.com. And then it's really beautiful, since I appreciate the game and what the developers went through to make this type of experience possible. A lot of detail in the features. See the various side characters, your support team right there. And I know you're probably going to notice another glaring omission from this collection. and it has to do with the Mcfarland Toy Line. You see all of the major characters, protagonists, antagonists represented, except there's one major protagonist and romantic love interest for Jubei, and that's OU. And unfortunately, I haven't found a figure for her yet because prices are getting pretty berserk on eBay. Anybody who's seen prices for Final Fight Revenge for the Sega Saturn knows the type of prices that they're asking for figures like these. I definitely understand that it's rare and the quality is extremely good, but sometimes you just have to be reasonable and learn when to find a good deal. I found these figures for a very good deal recently, and to tell you the honest truth, there was no reason for the OU figure to be at least, I'm not lying, at least 10 times as expensive as these other Mcfarland figures from other sellers. So hopefully there's a decent seller with some compassion that's willing to sell it at the price that it truly deserves. So there you have it, the Onimusha Collection. Really beaming with pride at Onimusha 2, probably one of the finest PS2 games ever made. Definitely one of the best Capcom has made overall and contributed for the past gaming console generation. The 2 soundtracks, and that would be it. Thanks.